Hey, let's talk about the difference between the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. We've covered the biggest and smallest differences in this video. I provided links in the description below if you're interested in learning more about these phones. To ensure you don't miss out on any of our upcoming video content, please consider giving us a like, subscribing, and hitting the notify button. Let's get cracking. Apple has unveiled the iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max, two new high-end smartphones that will succeed the iPhone 12 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro Max. The latest Pro models include some new design elements, such as a smaller notch, but the biggest differences are longer battery life, 3 new cameras, a 120Hz display, and a maximum storage capacity of 1 TB, which is double the storage capacity of last year's Pro models. The iPhone 13 Pro Max may look nearly identical to its predecessor, the 12 Pro Max, but it receives some major changes under the hood that may make it the most exciting upgrade of the entire iPhone 13 series. First and foremost, the battery size has increased significantly, resulting in a phone that can comfortably last 2 days between charges. The second major new feature is a ProMotion display for buttery smooth scrolling, which is now finally available on an iPhone. The new iPhone 13 Pro Max has a few features that we like and dislike. The 13 Pro Max has incredible battery life. It has a super bright display with vibrant colors and is the performance king. The camera has also been improved and now provides some of the best video quality available. We'll go over this in more detail later. Add to that a bunch of other improvements, including increased brightness, a larger sensor size for the triple camera system, and add in some ProRes video recording capability that no other mainstream phone has, and it all adds up to something quite impressive. What we dislike about the new iPhone 13 Pro Max is that the phone is quite large and quite heavy. Cinematic mode could use some polish, and the lack of USB-C complicates matters. So, should you upgrade to the newer iPhone 13 Pro Max in 2022? Or stick with the 12 Pro Max? And so, as I've mentioned before, a display upgrade is one of the most exciting new features on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The screen size and resolution remain unchanged from last year. A 6.7-inch OLED panel with a resolution of 1284 by 2778 pixels. But Apple is finally introducing 120Hz ProMotion for super smooth scrolling on the 13 Pro Max. Previous iPhones ran at 60 Hz, which simply means that the screen refreshed 60 times per second, whereas this new model can refresh up to twice as fast. When you interact with the screen, the faster refresh rate makes everything appear smoother. The newer iPhone also has a brighter display that can reach 1000 nits, whereas the older model could only reach 800 nits, making it easier to use outside. There are no major design changes, same flat sides, same overall look, but the 13 Pro Max is slightly thicker and heavier. That may be a bigger deal than it appears. The 12 Pro Max weighed 228 grams, and the 13 Pro Max now weighs 240 grams. When you carry this device in your pocket, you can definitely feel it. Both phones are made of stainless steel rather than the cheaper aluminum used in most other phones. The shiny, glossy sides identify the steel, which is also one of the reasons for the extra heft here. On the front, both phones use Apple's ceramic shield toughened glass, and both have sapphire cover glass for the camera lenses for increased scratch resistance. There is also no difference in their functionality, as both have the same IP68 dust and water protection rating. Then there's the new iPhone 13 Pro Max colors. Pro models never get the fun color options that regular iPhone models do, and the 13 Pro Max is mostly conservative, but it does have that new Sierra Blue version that looks really appealing. The battery life is the most significant improvement to the iPhone Pro Max range. While all iPhone 13 models receive some sort of battery boost, the iPhone 13 Pro Max receives the most significant. In fact, this is the largest battery that Apple has ever put on an iPhone, and it produces truly impressive results. Although Apple does not publish the exact battery capacity for the iPhone 13 Pro Max on its website, Disassembling the device reveals a 4,352 mAh cell versus a 3,687 mAh cell on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. That's a nearly 20% increase, and it also happens to be the biggest increase in battery life on an iPhone since the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The battery life while streaming video is estimated to be 25 hours on the 13 Pro Max and 12 hours on the 12 Pro Max. Yes, that's double the battery life while streaming video, which seems insane, but let's put the two through their paces on our battery test table and see how they fare. The iPhone 13 Pro Max is crushing it in the web browsing test, with one of the highest scores of any device we've tested thus far. You might expect a drop in battery life with 120 Hz, but Apple has done an excellent job of implementing the feature. The new 13 Pro Max also performed admirably in our YouTube video streaming test, where it managed to play back video non-stop for more than 10 hours, a first for an iPhone, and it outperformed the 12 Pro Max's 8-hour 37-minute score. Last but not least, gamers will be pleased to learn that the battery life is also excellent, with a score that exceeds the 10-hour mark. This compares to the 12 Pro Max's 8-hour battery life. On the charger front, well, you don't get one in the box with either one. Expect to pay an additional $20 to $30 for a fast charger here. Unfortunately, even the so-called fast chargers that Apple supports are not as fast by modern standards, with a theoretical maximum of 20 watts. We tried charging the 13 Pro Max with a 4 to 5 watt Samsung fast charger, and surprisingly it delivered faster speeds, charging the phone in just 1 hour and 40 minutes. On the wireless front, MagSafe is still available with up to 15-watt charging speeds. In our testing, it took about 2 hours and 45 minutes to fully charge an iPhone using the Apple MagSafe charger. On the 13 Pro Max, the magnets and their strength had not changed. Next, we look at the all-new cameras, wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto camera. While they appear to be quite familiar, the three cameras on the iPhone 13 Pro Max are noticeably larger, which is due to the use of all new and larger sensors. But first, a quick camera comparison with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. According to Apple, the iPhone 13 Pro Max wide camera now captures up to 2.2 times more light at night for both photos and videos, and the ultra-wide camera captures up to 92% more light. The larger sensors used provide this advantage. The main camera on the 13 Pro Max has a 1.65 of an inch sensor, whereas the 12 Pro Max has a 1.9 of an inch sensor. During the day, there is little to no difference, and photos appear nearly identical. What about low-light performance? Surprisingly, the newer phone takes slightly darker photos, resulting in a moodier, more genuine nighttime feel. Notice the annoying flaring from the lights, which is still visible in both photos and videos. The darker photo trend is especially noticeable when using the ultra-wide camera. Some people will still prefer the brighter look, but you could argue that a darker shot has a more realistic tonality. And yes, detail is cleaner with less noise with the ultra-wide. The difference is more pronounced with this camera. Photographic Styles is a new feature on the 13 series. This is essentially a photo editor on steroids. You can do local edits in real time and see the results in the viewfinder. You can choose a more vibrant look or a different style, and the iPhone will remember your preference and apply it to all of your photos. Thanks to the new ultra-wide camera, with a new autofocus system that allows you to focus at a distance as close as 2 centimeters for incredible close-ups, you can now capture macro photos on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. This feature also applies to video, where you can record macro video. Apple leads the smartphone performance race, and the new Apple A15 Bionic chip in the iPhone 13 Pro Max outperforms the previous leader, which happens to be the Apple A14 in the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Both chips are built on 5nm technology, but the newer one has more transistors and a larger cache, as well as improvements in CPU, GPU, and AI performance. Let's look at the benchmark results between the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So far, Apple is said to have increased the CPU frequency from 2.99 GHz on the A14 to 3.22 GHz on the A15, which results in a less than 10% increase in CPU performance. And the company has also increased the cache, which aids in multi-core performance. According to these numbers, the A15 is faster, but the A14 was already fast enough, so don't expect a significant difference in how these phones perform in real life. We are seeing larger gains on the GPU side. On the Geekbench Metal Graphics test, the new iPhone Pros with the Apple A15 Bionic scored 14,146 points, compared to 9,383 for the iPhone 12 family. In the US, 5G networks support mmWave, mid-band, and low-band, allowing you to fully benefit from 5G. The iPhone 13 series uses the new Qualcomm X60 modem, an upgrade from the iPhone 12 series X55 modem. The newer X60 modem eliminates a problem with the previous modem, the X55, by combining 5G downlink and 5G uplink for lower latency. Wi-Fi 6E was rumored, but not on the 13 Pro Max. Wi-Fi 6E can theoretically double bandwidth by opening the 6 GHz channel to customers. Here's a detailed comparison of the iPhone 13 Pro Max and iPhone 12 Pro Max specs. So, do you think it's a worthy upgrade over the 12 Pro Max? The longer battery life and smoother performance are the highlights. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our other content on this channel. Bye for now.